It is party time, Mom. Welcome to another episode of the Chad Prather Show. We're in Studio 22, the mothership, flying into the nether regions of all things cancel culture. Today, we're going to be talking about it. The puppet master and perfectionist, Mark, is flying us into those nether regions in Super Mario Chris Cruz. I saw somebody at a campaign event last night, Chris. They were asking about you. You're getting a little cult following, dude. You're starting to get.
I always do.
You're starting to get a little cult.
I'll try to bring them to your show from previous shows.
I like it.
Yeah.
I love the comments that say, "Is that the guy from Jeffy?"
Yep. And that is correct.
That's good. My mother even asked about you the other day.
Aw.
She's like, so what's he all about? And I'm like, Mom, we don't have time to get into that.
You don't want to open that.
Yeah, my good friend Gothix is sitting here in the hot seat. Thank you for being here. You flew in from Rhode Island.
Rhode Island. There's nothing there.
Well, now there's one less person there. That you can almost hear like the tumbleweeds blowing across the street.
Exactly.
Over there. We'll get into some of that. We'll talk about you. Follow her. You need to get on and subscribe to her YouTube channel. One of the things that I like about your videos is I find them, and I bet no one's ever said this to you, I find them soothing. Like the way you communicate, the way you talk, like the truth is there. I love your angle on things, but I just find them soothing.
Really? I've never heard that.
You just have a good voice for you could almost do a Dr. Laura type, I can hear it. I can hear it.
Huh. See, I can't even hear my own voice. So, really quick story. I bought an automatic cat feeder since I'm going on these trips.
Right.
And I can record my audio and tell him that breakfast is ready.
Oh, that's cool.
And the other day, I'm not a morning person, and it went off, and I just hear my voice in the kitchen, and that got me out of bed. Out of all things, my own voice.
Yeah. That's funny. I'd come down with the gun. I'd be like, who's in the kitchen talking?
Yep.
Right? I'm glad you're here, and we're going to talk about a lot of things. Cancel culture, sir. Oh, tell them the name of your channel, your YouTube channel.
My channel is just Gothix TV, Gothix with an X.
Yeah, Gothix TV. You can also find her on Instagram and Twitter at Gothix TV. I almost said TX.
That's not me.
Gothic TV. No, that would not be you. Lots of stuff to get in here, and I'll tell you, I haven't been talking about this very much, but I am going to be in Lubbock, actually, on November 4th and 5th. So you know about the show we're doing at the Buddy Holly Theater November 5th. We're going to be there. Get your tickets at watchchad.com. That's where all the fun stuff is. But we're also going to be at the let me look it up here, Chris. I got to check this out. We're going to be at the gun range as well on the 4th for a campaign event. Lone Star Shooting Sports. Lone Star Shooting Sports. Going to be there on the 4th at 7 p.m. It's always fun when you have a candidate for governor who shows up places where they encourage everyone to bring a gun. Security with heads on a swivel.
I was going to say, how's your security, your head of security, feel about this event?
Yeah, James can handle it. He's all right. I love to mess with James. Like, we'll be at these public events or something, and I can't even go to the bathroom. He follows me right in there. I go right into the stall because that's the only privacy you could get. You just got to go right into the stall, and he just stands right there. And I'm like, bro, give me 6 feet. Just give me, because now I got stage fright. You know,
Yep.
I gotta. And at my age, the prostate starts to get bigger, so it's harder to start and harder to stop. Anyway,
that was a very vivid image. It's too early.
Gothix, we get real plain spoken on this show. But he's always right there. So what I like to do is if there'll be a group of people who are standing there talking, if I see him get distracted, I would just kind of duck down behind a crowd and disappear. And then I'll stay where I can watch his head and just his reaction when he notices that he can't see me anymore. It's interesting. I'm not a good,
You're a troll.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. But no, we're going to be there November 4th and at the Lone Star Shooting Sports. And then also got to give a shout out to my boy Chad Myers with JM4 Tactical. They're the ones sponsoring that, putting it on. They're over there in Abilene, Texas. And also, get your tickets. Come out and have some laughs with us. Jesse Payton's going to be there. This is part of the Unapologetic Tour. And might even bring some of the Ragamuffins boys with us as well. So get your tickets and come hang out with us. We're going to talk about all kind of stuff today. We got to get into this. Is off the rails, so we're going to go all over the place. Gothix. This is we got to focus on the transgenders.
Okay.
And Dave Chappelle. We got to talk about In-N-Out Burger. We got to just so much. And by the way, Joe Biden, he is very forcefully telling everybody what to do still by pounding on the desk and saying, "Viewer, get vaccinated." And then, of course, we've got to talk about Rachel Levine. Rachel Levine. I don't even know how she says her name. This is a transgender episode. There you go. Good job. And on yellow notepaper, which is kind of weird. My Patriot Supply. I was talking to some folks this morning and online as I was driving back from Nacogdoches, Texas. We had an event there last night. And everybody's starting to see the supply chain issue as a major, major issue. Obviously, the shelves they have some cavities on them, right? They're barren, and there's some things that aren't there. We've been telling you guys forever. Like Glenn Beck is having a heyday right now because he's been telling people for years to get prepared. We've been telling you to get prepared, and you've kind of drug your feet a little bit. Well, get prepared, folks. I want you to go to preparewithchad.com. Get those 3-month supplies of that food, which is delicious, actually, and will last for 25 years in proper storage. You need to go in there and get one kit for every single member of your family. You need to make sure that you got enough to cover at least a couple of months, folks. This issue is not getting any better, and they're actually trying to blame this supply chain issue on the booming economy that we're experiencing. I don't know if you've heard Pete Buttigieg, the Secretary of Transportation. He's blaming it on the booming economy we're experiencing. But go to preparewithchad.com. I just went on there the other day, ordered even more. It is not at my house, so if you come knocking, I'm going to be shooting, okay? So it will show up at your house quickly. It will show up discreetly, unmarked boxes, and make sure you put it in proper storage. But go to preparewithchad.com. They will actually give you a $100 discount right now on that 3-month supply. Go in there and get it. We got a lot to talk about, folks. Hang tight through the break, and we're going to be right back with Gothix. Don't go anywhere. All right. I want you to tell me your story.
Okay.
How did you get into all this? Like, people often wonder how folks just start using their voice to get it out there, make a living, just become a talking head, whatever, however, all different stories, all different angles. Yeah. What's your story?
Well, according to Twitter, it's because I'm a grifter and I like money.
Of course you are.
But if you want the correct answer, I was... what I'm doing, I was not expecting this. I was just playing video games on Twitch, just entertaining viewers with just jokes and laughs. And I ended up getting canceled by a Twitter mob because I was sharing opinions that didn't align with theirs, and that's not allowed, of course. Were
they like political or cultural or, I mean...
of all things, The Little Mermaid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
By the way, Little Mermaid, Ariel, the hottest Disney princess, still in my opinion.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think so too. But yeah, Disney said that they were gonna put a black actress to replace like the white Ariel.
Okay.
And I'm just like, for me, that lacks creativity. But on the other side of it, I just didn't like the rhetoric that I was seeing online of people saying, well, if you have an issue with Ariel being black, then you're obviously racist. It's like, that's not the point. The point is that she was a white character for years, and people are attached to that nostalgia. It doesn't mean that they're racist.
Yeah.
And because of that opinion, people labeled me as like anti-black and that I have internalized racism or something like that. And then it just kept happening. I just kept getting canceled over stupid stuff. I ended up voting for Trump last election, and that kind of sealed the deal for me. That was
Kiss
it.
of death.
Pretty much I said goodbye to my Twitch career. And the more people kept telling me that I didn't have a voice and I wasn't allowed to talk about stuff, the more I did it. And I started building my own audience on YouTube. And that's kind of what I do now. I just get on the mic and rant about stuff and make videos because I feel like the world is lacking common sense as of late. Yeah.
Do you find that whenever people tell you not to do something, it motivates you to do it more?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's the way I'm wired.
I don't like that. I don't, who are these random people? Why do they think they have the authority over me is what I don't get.
I love, somebody came at Mike Rowe on a post the other day on Instagram or wherever it was, and they said, if you believe in this, then you've lost our support and my respect. That was the word. And he said, well, at what point in time in life did they lie to you and say that you deserve a stranger's, like some stranger wants your respect?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. I get similar comments from like black leftists, and they'll say things like, "We don't claim Gothix." Well, I don't know you. Like, why would I want you to claim me? It's weird.
Like, were they paying your mortgage
No.
or, your car payment or feeding your dog or,
No, I don't have a dog, but if I did, no.
Exactly. So so she's a cat person. We know this now with a machine that
I
feeds
have
it.
had a dog, okay? I do now have a cat. Get it right.
Yeah. That's crazy though. Do you see yourself kind of continuing on this? Are you enjoying it, or is it like something you feel like you have to do?
I am. So it was definitely something that I felt like I had to do.
Yeah.
And, I lost personal friendships, people that I've, spent a lot of time with and people that I trusted. And I felt like I had to do it, even though it was destroying my career that I already built for myself on Twitch. And to be perfectly honest with you, it kind of black-pilled me a little bit because I'm not used to this environment. I'm used to playing video games and not used to political commentary. Yeah. But at this point, as of late, I've been feeling a little bit more positive and I don't I don't look at it as like a drag anymore. I'm like, okay, we're gonna do this. We're gonna get through this.
Yeah.
We're gonna use whatever resources I have, and obviously I have a platform. I'm gonna put it to use because the world's going to shit.
Yeah, you're right. And I want to encourage everybody listening, everybody watching. This is the kind of thing we're talking about. You want to fight back against cancel culture, and you want to support somebody who is fighting that and using their voice. This is the kind of person that you need to follow. This is one of those voices. You need to follow Gothix TV, Gothix with an X. You need to follow her, and you need to subscribe to the shows, and you need to listen to the shows. And I'm telling you, like driving in, I had a 2.5 hour drive this morning. And I was just binge watching you.
Wow.
So yeah, and it's really good, and I'm glad. Like it very soothing, like I said.
Okay.
I just like people who could flow, right? Like I yell a lot.
Yeah.
And I scream at people. Like I can go into my radio voice. I can be Glenn Beck if I want to be Glenn Beck, but I don't want to be Glenn Beck. I'm here to cancel Glenn Beck. Coming for you, Beck. No, but I had something funny I was going to say about Beck, and I can't remember what it was. But no, I binge watched your show. And I'm a fan, so I appreciate what you're doing.
Thank you.
And I want you to keep it up because you're good at it.
Thank you.
In-N-Out Burger told San Francisco, we refuse to become the vaccination police after city temporarily closed their business. Have you ever had an In-N-Out Burger?
I have not.
All right. You have never. Today is your day. In-N-Out, of course, they wanted San Francisco, the city of wokeism. They closed the restaurant, San Francisco, because they were not preventing the entry of customers who were not carrying proper vaccination documentation. So there you go. They had posted signage communicating local vaccination requirements, and so on and so forth. And they just said, we're not going to be the vaccination police for any government. I like that. There you go. Now, we'll see as the cancel culture attacks them if they waver or they back off. So I'm done with like complimenting people too much until we see like that. We'll talk about it later on, but that CEO of Netflix who came out in defense of Dave Chappelle in his special, now he's wavering on that, said he made a mistake. So, they're going to, of course, say vaccines remain our best tool to fight this disease and come out of the pandemic. Like, what's your opinion? You think we'll ever come out of this? Like, if 100% of the people in the world were suddenly vaccinated, would they still be talking about this pandemic?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not going to go away.
It's not going away. So that's the insanity that I keep trying to point out. Like, I currently am running an ad for my apparel business, and we have our Freedom Over Fear and Unapologetic Patriot, Mandate Freedom, and I understand Mandate Freedom is an oxymoron. That's the play on words. Therein lies the humor. And so, of course, when you run an ad, all the trolls come out. Mm-hmm. They're not necessarily your followers, and they come out in full force. And they're just get vaccinated. And it's like, what are you on your 7th, 8th booster shot?
Seriously.
I mean, how many times do you want me to do this? So, no, it's never going to go away. But in honor, and you guys know that I hate eating on camera. Get your burger, Gothix. All right. Get yours Thursday. We're going to take a bite of this thing. This is a big one. It's a big one. You would get the double, wouldn't you, Chris? You got one too? Mark, you get one? God, and I'm hungry too. So I like In-N-Out's burgers. I don't like their fries. So here we go. In honor of In-N-Out, we're going to give ourselves some arteriosclerosis and some high cholesterol and some heart disease. And let's clog some things up. You know, screw your vaccines. There we go. Oh. There it is. Not bad. Hopefully you don't have like an onion allergy or anything like that. It's a good burger. I'm taking one more bite.
Ooh. All right, hold on.
Get it, girl. Pretty damn good. That is real TV. Chris Cruz. I like it. I was hungry too.
That was good.
What time they start selling burgers in the morning? 10:30. Okay.
Works for me.
I don't like their fries.
Me neither. Now,
No.
I'm going to ask this. How many burgers did Candice bring you?
Candice never brought me shit. Mark, you're married to her. How many burgers has she ever brought you? Does she feed you?
Yeah, she brings me tons of burgers.
Oh, yeah? Tons of burgers?
Tons.
I love it, man. Thanks, Chris. I came in this morning. Chris like, hey, man, are you hungry? I can't do a good Chris Cruz impersonation yet. Are you hungry? Yeah, I'm hungry. Don't eat anything. I got some burger for you. Okay.
Why do I sound Mexican?
I know. I can't do it. I'll work on you, though.
Thank you.
I'll work on you. So anyway, we'll see how that thing plays out. So transgender comedian defends Dave Chappelle over controversial Netflix special. No topic is off limits, right? That's what the comedian Flame Monroe. I'm gonna think that Flame is a she, right? Yeah. Okay. There she is. I never want to assume genders. I get confused with the transgender thing.
Yeah, it's a little bit overcomplicated for my taste.
It's like I'm assuming if you dress like a woman, you want to be a she.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm going to call you. But she said that the closer, Dave Chappelle's Netflix special, which by the way, you know, I don't know what he made on the closer. Like they, you know, like me, when I wrote my book here, they gave me an advance on the book, but then you have to pay all that back in sales, right? They recoup their advance in sales. That's the way books are going. And by the way, get Am I Crazy wherever you can get books. And, but now Dave, I mean, Dave's big time, right? So they go ahead and pay Dave, like, I think the last special, like $70 million. Wow. That's a lot of money.
That's
a lot of money. I don't know what they paid him for the closer, but obviously it was a lot. You pay me $70 million, you can cancel my white ass, like right now. Like, you won't find me anywhere. Like, I'll never tell a joke for the rest of my life. I'm good with that. I'll own Blaze TV. I'll be like, hey, Glenn Beck, you want to sell a building? But so anyway, someone asked Flame Monroe, said, did you laugh or cringe when she heard Chappelle's jokes about transgender people? She said, it made me scream out loud laughing because I saw the humor in it. I'm a comedian. I'm a human. I know who Dave Chappelle is and what Dave Chappelle and what he is. He's a comedian, so I thought it was funny. Right. And some of the things he said, hear me when I, as a trans person, I did, be like, oh, but when it was the truth, it's funny. It's just humor. It's just laughter. We keep missing that. So that's the thing. I mean, like I keep saying over and over again, the two places where, whether you agree with them or not, the two places that should make you uncomfortable and make you introspective and think about yourself is the church pulpit and the comedy stage. Like those two places are the places where it ought to be like, hey, I'm going to say this and I'm coming after you. And you just, by walking in the door, you know that's what you're going to get.
Yeah.
And neither of them do that anymore.
Right.
They've been watered down so bad.
I also think that people that make a big stink out of, jokes that target one specific group, it's like, well, that's literally the opposite of being equals, because why would your group not be able to take a joke? I think that's true equality.
I was watching, of course, I've seen it a trillion times, I can quote it, but Major Payne with Damon Wayans, right? It's one of the greatest movies ever made. And when he has the boys lined up there at the academy, and he's coming in and he's looking at his men, so to speak. And he walks over and he says, "What's your damaged muscle head? You deaf?" And the guy steps out of line. He says, "Yes, sir. Actually, he is deaf." He goes, "Oh, thank you. Now drop down and give me 25 push-ups for walking out of line." And then he looks at him and he says, "I'm sorry, Mr. Handicapped Man. Did I offend you?" He said, "Do you understand sign language? Can you read my lips?" He said, "Well, then, when I speak to you, you better answer me before I put my foot in your ass." Like, that's great, right? Yes. When he says, "I'm sorry, Mr. Handicapped Man," that's fantastic. You can't say it today, right?
Why not?
I mean, you can, and I do. You do.
I do.
But, I mean, according to the woke mob, you can't say it. And that's the thing. Like, so when Chappelle does a skit and a sketch over and over again about a blind black man who's a member of the KKK and he is a white supremacist, that is classic. But Dave Chappelle's a genius, right? He's a genius. And the biggest thing I love about Dave right now, he says, if this is cancel culture, give me more of it, because I effing love it. And I love that attitude.
Yeah.
That's why the cover of my book says Unapologetic Patriot takes on the insanity of today's woke world. We don't apologize.
And Chad, to give you some numbers, in 2016, Chappelle signed a deal with Netflix that he will do 3 specials, each of which he got $20 million.
Okay.
And since then, he's released a bunch of them.
Yeah.
My favorite one is the one that he did here in Texas, Deep in the Heart of Texas. I like that one.
Yeah. Chappelle's a sage. Like, you would never think of Dave Chappelle. I'm like, you consider him like he is a true of our age. I mean, he is a wise sage. The guy's a genius. And he's a super nice guy also, by the way. Super nice guy. But anyway, we'll talk a little bit more about Dave when it comes back and why it matters, actually. Hey, TACPAC is the premier monthly subscription box for military tactical prepper and Second Amendment enthusiasts. You have these constant attacks on the Second Amendment and your rights. It's more important than ever to get equipped with TACPAC. $49.95 a month gets you at least $100 worth of gear from different companies like 511, Sons of Liberty, Gunworks, Mission First, Tactical, Armaspec, a whole lot more. They're going to send you those AR-15 parts and accessories, EDC tools, knives, and gear to keep you prepared for when the poo hits the fan. And with the holidays around the corner, TACPAC makes a perfect gift. November's loaded up with the machine to AR parts, tools, and more. It has a whopping value of $105. And if you're really hardcore, sign up for the TACPAC Plus, which has a value of $245 for the November pack. Go to TACPAC.com. Use promo code CHAD, I spell it, Chad, at checkout and receive a free extra bag of tactical goodies shipped out with your first pack. Flying off the shelves, you know they sell out quick, so go to TACPAC.com today. Sign up. That's TAC, T-A-C, PAC.com, and use offer code CHAD. We'll be right back. So back on Chappelle for a minute. Transgender Resource Group gives Netflix a list of demands ahead of walkout protest. Apparently, all the transgenders on the planet work for Netflix, right? Like, they make up like 0.0001% of the population, but all 100 of them on the planet work at Netflix. Yes, there's more transgenders than that. I've been to the shows. I don't think those are transgenders. Those are cross-dressers, right? Yeah. I look at Chris like he's the subject matter expert.
I was going to ask about that.
Well, he dated one, so what do you got to do? I don't understand. But the transgenders don't like the cross-dressers.
No. Right.
Like they're opposed to that. Like, you can't come to the Pride Parade if you're just a cross-dresser. You got to have some surgical. You got to have some surgical skin in the game. Literally. But they've got categories like content investment, employee relations, safety, harm reduction. Golly, that sounds like Sarah Gonzalez here at the Blaze. A whole list of demands. Well, then let's just keep going further down this transgender rabbit hole. Rachel Levine, first ever female, but is she female 4-star admiral of the U.S. Public Health Services Commission course. Now, don't forget, China launched a hypersonic missile into space that orbited the Earth at a low altitude, but we made this chick a 4-star admiral. Okay, more power to you. But you got any thoughts on that?
You know what? Who cares about the orbit missile thing? I want to know more about this. This is the important thing.
This is real news, right? We laughed at Trump for creating Space Force, and now we have a low altitude, missile hovering over us. But hey, first ever female 4-star admiral. Like that ought to piss women off. Like honestly, that ought to piss women off. Like the fact that a man who identifies as a woman, it's just like Caitlyn Jenner getting Woman of the Year. That ought to piss women off.
Right. Yeah, it's like you want to do whatever you want with your body. I don't care. But I think it's a little bit disrespectful to say like it is the same thing.
Yeah.
Especially when we get into like making these gender neutral terms like birthing person and stuff like that. It's like I can't. I'm not with that.
Nope. Like I think it would be okay if you said it was the first ever transgender.
Yeah.
4-star admiral. I get that, but to say the first ever female, that's to me that's an insult to women. And then there's her statement. I am humbled. I said they. Her statement, humbled to serve as the first female 4-star. Okay, I got some things I want to say about that, Chris. Let me talk about that. I don't know. Look, I have a very active imagination. Gothix. I don't know if you realize this yet or not. So here's what I imagine must happen at the White House every single day. Y'all ready? I'm going to take you down a little journey. I want you to picture the scene. 6:30 a.m. at the White House. The gates slowly open to let in a solitary car driven by a punctual and enthusiastic Biden administration appointee who shall, for the purposes of our hypothetical narrative, remain nameless, but whose title is the Secretary of What Kind of Shit Can We Get Away With Today? So this guy practically sprints to his desk to get started on the day's tomfoolery, eagerly clicking his ballpoint pen in anticipation of putting America's sanity to the test for yet another day. Now, he's had some doozies throughout the interminable yet brief tenure of the slumberer-in-chief thus far, but today his goal is to absolutely outdo himself. And this is the part of the story where I must no longer shroud story with mystery nor tongue with cheek. Rachel Levine, yes, Rachel Levine, the openly transsexual health secretary who looks like the love child of Keith Olbermann and a sheepdog hooked up with the love child of Robert Plant and another sheepdog, quite honestly. That's the one. Yesterday made, and I swear to you, I'm not making this up, as we just said in this story, a 4-star admiral. Now, I want you to consider something about this because you're going to see the first part of all this coming. You're prepared today for the media to drop everything cute and fuzzy they've been saying about Colin Powell and his passing away, and they're going to hit this story like a ton of bricks with every self-congratulatory arrow they've got in their quivers. You know as well as I do that this is being and will continue to be lauded as a, quote, victory for equality, a progressive step forward, the quintessential historic first, blah, blah, blah. By now, if you've slummed it for any length of time listening to the seedy underbelly of society known as the mainstream media, you know that this is as regular as a morning constitutional to them. There's also the derisive part you'll have to stomach through, and that part you might not see coming quite as easily because, of course, it's a foregone conclusion both to the administration that sets these little clown cars in motion and to the reporters who make sure everyone knows they're there, that you, the evil and backwards conservative, dragging your knuckles through the dust of life's issues while pretending to others and more sadly to yourself that you even know how to read, that you will hate this, that you will not only hate it, but you will attack it. You see, right now the left is running the show, and that means that they, in effect, have the sane people in this country in a cage. You are in a cage held together by a lock with a 4-year countdown. Oh, and there's nothing they love better than dragging a stick across the bars and trying to rile you up. And it's working, folks. I'm plenty riled. You're plenty riled. I know my boy Chris Cruz over here. He's riled up. And maybe he should be. Maybe it's time that we realize that the words admiralty and admirable, they have the same roots. Maybe it's time that we realize that high positions of honor and power bear their weight over the merits upon which they are built, and that to do otherwise is absolute folly. Maybe it's time we realize that while the media and the Biden administration are most definitely in the business of gaslighting us in the hopes that we'll lose our minds over stuff like this, it is also not crazy to be driven crazy by craziness. Listen, I don't know a whole lot about Rachel Levine. I really don't. I hope that hers, whatever, Okay, his position is purely ceremonial, but we'll have to see what happens. In the meantime, I'm going to go find out if Garth from Wayne's World is hanging out with any sheepdogs, because it's only going to get worse, Chris. It's only going to get worse. They've got us in a cage. There's a 4-year countdown. We're only 1 year in. Oh, my God. Just getting started.
Just getting started. It's going to be fun.
It's a shit show.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys wanted this little woke reality, this little experiment in progressivism, democratic socialism. Let's call it what it is. And now you're going to be standing in line to get your food. The shelves are bare. The ships are anchored off the coast. And we just named a dude that dresses like a woman, a very ugly woman. I'll be quite honest with you. It really could use like some Crest white strips. I don't care if you're a dude or a girl. Like, you need some Crest white strips, Rachel. And look at that. Look at that fella. Like, I always thought that if you want to dress like a woman, like you want to be a woman, that you wanted to like, you want to be like fabulous, right? That ain't fabulous.
You want to be pretty. How is that pretty?
That ain't pretty.
As a person that...
Like, you want to be prettier. Like, you want to do your nails,
Yes.
right? You want to get some boobs, and you want to be a woman.
Yes, that is not a pretty woman.
Pretty.
That looks
And that ain't a pretty, like, Navy uniforms ain't pretty.
No.
Anyway.
But there's some girls that can fill it up.
Oh, yeah, trust me. I've seen the Instagram models.
Yeah.
I'm friends with a lot of them.
Me too.
I love it when they
But that's not a pretty sailor I want to follow. I don't
No.
want to follow that sailor.
No. Gothix, in honor of you, I put on more flannel because it's freezing
more flannel?
cold. It's freezing cold, so I just started layering up with flannel.
It's so cold in here. Did they realize I'm from Rhode Island? Is that what it was? They prepared it?
They did. They must have thought that Glenn Beck was going to come in here today because he loves it like 50 degrees. But anyway, Rachel Levine, hey, congratulations. Oh, my gosh. So the other day I went to my mailbox and I opened it up, and there were 2 new belts. 2 belts, and I need the belts because I like to wear loose pants or whatever, and I need the pants to keep them up, and I like to carry a gun, so it helps. So I opened it up and I was like, Groove Life, and I started looking up Groove Life. What is it? They make rings, they make belts. The Groove Life ring, the only breathable silicone ring, like that's become a thing, like the silicone rings. Everybody's wearing those things, and Groove Ring, the grooves in the ring actually let air in and moisture out. So you're not you don't have that ring sweat. You know what I'm talking about? It's a major deal if you're a dude. But listen, their belts are legit. I've been wearing it every single day since it came in. Been wearing the belt. Most comfortable belt known to man. And it's got this, it's easy to adjust, but it's got the little magnetic buckle on it. So you don't even have to hook it there's no Velcro. I'm always pushing for the Velcro because I'm an old dude now. Like, I go to the store and I start looking for new shoes, and I'm like looking for Velcro as an option. But this belt's got the little metal click right there, and there it is. It's got it just snaps. It's got a high strength neodymium metallic buckle. Like you can just stick it to the dryer or the refrigerator. But anyway, it's really cool. And so it doesn't fold up in your belt loops and all that stuff. So I'm encouraging you guys, they got a mission you can get behind. The goal is to serve people, inspire, adventure, reflect God in every aspect of their business. They got a 94-year, no BS warranty on every product they sell. Cut it, stretch it, lose it, break it, no problem. Groove Life will replace it. Trust me, you'll love the toughest, most comfortable belt known to man. I'm going to tell you exactly how to get it with this lifetime warranty. Right now, you get 15% off your Groove Life order at groovelife.com. Promo code CHAD15. CHAD15. Go to groovelife.com. Use promo code CHAD15. CHAD15. Get 15% off, and we'll be right back. So, as we've come to know, this section of the show is, of course, Superman's bisexual son's favorite part. It's the D block. What was his name? Is it Jonathan Kent? I can't remember. I think it was like Clark Kent's son, Jonathan. Or why didn't they name him Rob or Steve? Give him a good gay name.
Is that
Andy.
a gay name? Rob or Steve?
Yeah. John, yeah. Yeah. All my Steves, like Party Foul Steve, and it's a good gay name. Start noticing how many Robs and Steves are gay. I don't want to put you on the spot like that, but you'll think about it now.
I know one. You're right.
Rob's and Steve's, I'm telling you. So I alluded to it, and I want to say again that we started praising the CEO of Netflix for standing up, and saying, oh, no, I'm standing behind Dave Chappelle. Well, apparently the cancel culture came after him, too. And he said, whoops, I messed up. I screwed up. It's all on me. Messed up. And again, like I said, Channing Tatum, he came out and said that he can't believe that Dave Chappelle hurt so many people. Because I've been sitting around all week long just wondering what Channing thought about it.
Right. I'm so glad now. I feel like I got more information.
Let's dig up some of Channing Tatum's past. Oh, and it's out there. Some of the things he did in Ybor City back when he was a male dancer outside of Tampa. Okay, we'll get away from that. More importantly, local news channel accidentally broadcasts porn. I ever tell you the story, Chris, about how back when I was working for a Fortune 300 company and we had 15,000 people in a room at a sales conference in Orlando, and the CEO of this company, he was up on stage and he started to type in. He was showing a demonstration of how the search engine on the company's website just automated. It looks for products. It kind of reads what you're going to do, right? And it's kind of predictive stuff. And so he was looking up gas-operated generator, and it automatically searched for, I won't say the phrase, but it was the P word, and it was, obviously he'd been searching for some things in the past. Right. And it started auto-generating on the big screen in front of 16,000 guests. During 6 p.m. newscast, KREM, Spokane, Washington, based station accidentally aired pornography during its Sunday broadcast. Now, just help our viewers understand, Chris, we don't show any clips unless you've queued them up.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Like, you have to pull the clips when we show video.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Mark has to click on it and then put it on standby and then touch another button to send it to you guys.
So you guys actually give me a list right here. You give me a list of what we call SOTs in the industry. Those are, what does SOT stand for? Does anybody even know? Sound on tape. There you go. So I have a list. I call for it. 13 seconds. Televised 13 seconds behind meteorologist Michelle Boss. Look at there. So apparently they green screened it, huh?
No, there's a TV. There's a TV behind her. If he can make that picture a lot bigger, there's a TV behind her to her left.
There it is.
It's blurred. I tried to find the unblurred picture, but I could not find it.
So it showed a woman's backside, and they didn't know it was there. That's real news, Gothix. That's real news.
That's real. I'm still trying to figure out what it is. Are they on the beach? Like what? I don't. And then why did it anger someone so much to call the police?
Yeah, dude, call the cops on them.
Yeah, the tweet.
Was that like a former reporter with the network?
It was a report. I don't know where he comes from, but he went and did this whole thing and says, KRM somehow broadcast a porn video during this weather report, and now the cops are involved.
Yeah, now the cops are involved. Well, thank God. The porn police are here. That's insane. So, Gothix, we like to do something in the D block called Make Chad Feel Guilty. We pull clips that I've never seen before from TikTok. You got one? I do. Let's do it.
Uh-oh.
Hey, so if you're getting a lot of disrespect in your classroom and you're worried about backtalking, this one is for you. So truthfully, backtalking is just this made-up concept, because this is what happens when someone who we think is inferior to us treats us like an equal, or questions oppression, or sometimes even just shares an opinion of theirs. So when we tell our students not to talk back, we're just enforcing this hierarchy in our classroom that places us at the top and our students at the bottom. And the students who are most often placed at the bottom of this hierarchy are our Black and brown students, especially our Black and brown girls. So if we don't want our students to internalize the inferiority that we're projecting onto them, then we need to stop policing the way that they talk to us. Let them talk to us like equals. That's what we are.
Let me tell you something, bitch. How dare you condescend to me? You know your mama was a trick too. Gotta beat the crabs off your lazy slut ass. Let's just say what we want to say to her, right? Why not? She was the teacher?
Yes.
That's nuts.
Nuts.
That's nuts.
Like, let's let the black and brown people say whatever they want to say. Let them express themselves since black and brown people, Gothics, don't know how to express themselves.
Clearly.
Apparently.
Just don't know how. It's off the rails. What the hell am I watching?
You know what? I want you to be able to express yourself, okay?
Yeah.
So you have my permission as a white savior to do anything you want to say on your YouTube channel now. Anything.
Okay.
You now have, and that teacher too, like you could say whatever you want to say. That white lady gave you permission. Wow. The condescension and the inherent racism in this nonstop woke bullshit is insanity to me. And there, I'm the dude. Look, I'm the white heterosexual male out here wearing a cowboy hat with a dog in the back seat of my truck, burning up the ozone layer. I'm public enemy number one, right? And I'm like, these people, it's so stupid.
Yeah, they're not helping, and they don't realize they're not helping. But
No.
the problem is like you got people in the black community that think differently and share that mindset that will give people like her the okay, like, oh yeah, that's normal. That's not normal.
No, it's absolutely not normal. And you know what? Let that start happening and watch how quickly her patience wears thin when suddenly all the black and brown people in her class start saying, yo, bitch.
Yup.
Now, I don't want to come to the chalkboard. You bring the chalkboard to me. You the one with the privilege, bitch. Let's see how long that lasts, okay? Golly. But a couple of weeks ago, they were talking about on TikTok how, if you make people sit down or walk in line or behave themselves, that's white supremacy. Because we're supposed to let black and brown people just run wild because apparently that's their nature. This is stupid. God, I'm so sick of it. Columbus, he was an immigrant and they welcomed him in, right? He was an illegal immigrant. Remember that one? Yep. Yeah, and then he murdered them all. So, way to prove the point, jackass. Hang tight, we'll be right back. God, I hate people right now. Hope everybody has a great weekend. Gothics, enjoy your stay in Texas.
Thank you.
It is the center of the universe.
I can't wait to explore. It's nice.
Yeah. You're going to come down here. It's going to get in your blood, and you're going to want to come. You're going to want to live here.
I might.
might.
I don't like the heat, though.
It is very hot.
Yeah, it's very hot.
Like, you hit it perfectly. The weather right now, it'll still get a little warmish this afternoon. 85, which is very mild here.
Yeah.
It does get hot.
Plus, you guys got tornadoes. I'm not...
You'll be all right.
Okay.
You'll be all right.
Just shoot at the tornadoes?
WatchChad.com is where all the fun stuff is. Also go to chatonblaze.com, get our new FBJ shirts. And hopefully we'll have our pure-blooded shirt out pretty soon. A couple of reviews. Go to where podcasts are offered, especially Apple Podcasts. Leave us a rating and a review. We only accept 5-star ratings because that's what we deserve. Here's one from JDog2554, Prather 2022. Hey, Chad, love the show and appreciate all you're doing for the great state of Texas. And hear me out. What do you think about putting alligators in the Rio Grande to help stop the border crisis? I don't have a problem with that. I also think we ought to bring those green energy fans down and put them on the border wall as well and let that be the last obstacle that they have to climb through. We'll put cushions on the end of the blade, just bump them right back into Juarez. But I think that's a phenomenal use, and we still get a little green energy out of it. Just woof, 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 woof. And you got to get the family through there. That's fantastic stuff.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, follow her at Gothix with an X TV, at Gothix TV. YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
I
appreciate
your
you.
voice. Thank you for coming on. Always welcome to be right. We'll see you next week.